Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight I would like to offer the elemental energy reading for air for a forecast for the year of 2024. Now, with that, these are general readings, but we'll go through and we'll look at each month, the energy that's kind of coming in, some of the influences that may be at play. And this year is the Chinese Year of the Dragon that starts in February, and I am going to be using the Tarot of Dragons tarot deck, this guy right here, as part of the readings, so that we'll bounce back and forth between the angels and the dragons, so you can get a little bit of a feeling from what the angels are saying and a little bit of energy from the dragons as well. And if you enjoy these type of videos, please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button so you know when I drop new videos or go live, because I try to do that about once a week, go live anyway. Not every week because holidays are a little rough, but I do try that. With that, we'll get started, and these are general readings, so take what works for you, leave the rest for someone else. And I'll read quarter by quarter, so we'll do the first 3 months, then we'll do the second 3 months, etc., until we hit the end of the year. So we'll start off with the angels, and if you're interested in the tarot decks that I'm using, they are linked in the description down below. And so January is starting off a little interesting for you because two cards decided to come out, air elemental energy, and air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you have air in your birth charts, or you're a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, then this reading applies to you. And we have, for January, the Seven of Earth, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. But you also have the Nine of Water. Your wishes are coming true, concerns are fading away, and a love of life. So what they're saying is you've got a lot of things that have been in the works, moving the right direction. You have a little bit of worry. It's that little voice in the back of your head saying, you're not good enough, that's not what we're doing here. You need to really be focusing on X, Y, and Z, and the universe is saying, dude, you have A, B, and C, which is what you've been working on, falling into place. Don't worry about the rest of that. We'll get to that. So right off the bat this year, you've got a little bit of a conflict, but there's a resolution around it. So your wishes are coming true, and concerns are fading away. So the worry that you're holding, air, is the universe is saying is unnecessary. It's one of those things like you're worrying about pebbles when you're building mountains. You're worried about, the sand under your feet when the stars are calling you. So there's a lot of positive energy starting off this month for you, or this year, I should say. So January is looking like it's going to be starting off with a little bit of a bang, a very positive kick in the rear end, so to speak. But it's also saying your worry is unnecessary, so when worry comes forward, neutralize it with something like, I am safe and loved by the universe. You can substitute God, source, divine, however that works for you. But I am safe and loved by the universe every time a worry pops in, because really a worry is just a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but doesn't actually get you anywhere. So that's kind of the message they're bringing forward for January. So February, with our dragons, we have the Sire of Wands. There's a very powerful image coming up here, and this is saying you are standing in your power. You're coming into your own. The first part of the year, January, it was like the doors are opening, things are falling into place. There's a little bit of worry, but there's ways around that. This, in February, you're coming into your own abilities and powers. You've stepped beyond the Ace through 10. You're into the Royal Court cards of the Wands, which is fire energy, and fire and air work really well together. So you've got this energy of stepping into your own. You're doing something that you're passionate about. February, they're saying, is the time where your passion will be inspired, where it's going to be fed properly. You'll have support, specifically from people with fire energy around you, Leo, Aries and Sagittarius possibly maybe coming in to support you here. But you're stepping into your own. You can see there's a little bit of desolation, so even though things may be falling apart around you, that isn't really going to affect you, is what they're saying. This is about standing in your own power and abilities. So if you are starting on a journey of developing your will, February is going to be very key to that growth. And when I say developing your will, I'm not talking about simple, basic, everyday type stuff. Your spiritual will is how you develop the ability to use affirmations, mantras, and etc. Because you can say words all day long. That's easy. But when you really start tapping into your divine will, this is where you harness the power of creation itself. And it's a little bit more complicated than what like the movie The Secret and some of those go into, but those are where you start. But they're saying February is the time to tap into your divine will, start really working on focusing, building that, strengthening it. And if you've already on that journey, February is going to be a month where you really see this coming into play. So let's hop over to March with the 10 of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others, life is out of balance, and stress-related health concerns. The angels are saying that the health concerns are, put that on a back burner, it's not that important. But the big part is everything that you've got going on, you're going to get wrapped up into a mindset of busy, very busy bee, which air likes to move, so that's not that surprising. But in March, it's going to come forward that it's time to put a little pause on things, because you're rushing, you're doing everything, but you're losing your focus. And the divine will can help anchor that back in. So the 10 of Fire is more of a heads up card for you guys in March, especially because your wishes are coming true. Things are going the right direction for you. You're tapping into a deeper aspect of self and spirituality. But in March, you may be so wrapped up in a project, either spiritual or work related. They're saying that those two in particular. So it's spiritual or work related, where you have started to let other things like family, like friends, kind of slip to the side, meaning your life is now out of balance. And they're calling you in March to readdress that balance. And that could be something like just taking a night off from work and going to dinner, instead of doing that meditation that the course that you've been working on so devotedly, maybe going to a movie with a special someone, but just readdressing the balance, bringing your life back into balance. When your life's out of balance, I can guarantee you, because I've done it, your spiritual life will suffer, as well as your work relationship, because your body and soul will only put up with an imbalance like that for so long before it's like, oh yeah, watch this. And that could end up as like a migraine. It could end up in a little bit of an illness, because you're not taking the time for the self-care and the connection to others that is required. So let's hop over to the second quarter. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. And our next quarter in April is the Ace of Cups. You got some new emotions coming, a new start, a new beginning starting in April, and it could be that redressing of the balance that occurred in March, maybe opening the doorway to a deepening of a relationship, taking it to a new level, which would be a new beginning because you've reached the completion of one cycle. Could be friend into partner, it could be girlfriend, boyfriend into spouse. There's a deepening of a relationship, but they're also showing me that this is a good time to start a new project. Not just something that you think sounds fun. This is a start of something you are passionate about, tapping into your heart. What is it that inspires you? In April, it's about the inspiration. It is about starting that book. It's about writing that poem. It's about building upon that foundation, of, I've always wanted to do this, I've always enjoyed this. In April, they're saying, do it. This is the time, the energy's aligned, and there is a beginning for you starting at that time. So April is a new beginning, new starting. It's also just after Ostara, which is the spring equinox, so you've got that spring energy coming in. There's a lot of positive energy beginning in the month of April. So just tap into your emotions. What is it that you've been wanting to do, but you keep, so-and-so is not going to let me do that, or the timing's just, I don't have the time for it. Whatever reason you have given yourself, check back in with what it is that you've been putting off, because it's something that you've been wanting and desiring. And what they're saying in April, there are things lining up for you, and this is a very good time to step into that. So let's look at May with the 10 of Air, the end of a difficult situation, embracing the change, expect things to get better, recovering from an addiction. An addiction, they're showing me, is work. So this is that time of things are finalizing, and this is air energy, so this is intellectual. It could be the end of a school, and we're in May, so it could be that you're graduating, which is a very stressful situation, especially your last year in college or even in high school, depending on what you're doing. It could be the end of a training period, like an apprenticeship or trade school of some form, but they're saying that you're coming to the end, and the difficult situation has to do with an intellectual thing. It could be, like I said, school, work, an apprenticeship. That's what they keep showing me, is those three. And it's, your life's changing because you're bringing something to an end. This is where, what's your next step? Are you going to take that job? Are you just going to start looking for a job? Are you moving to another town, state, country even? There's a lot of things in flux is what they're showing me in May. It's not just one thing is changing. Life as a whole for you, Air, is being a little bit turned upside down, but it's because you've brought yourself to the end of something that has been weighing on your mind for a very long time. And moving forward, it's time to take the snow globe and shake it up a little bit and see what falls out and where things land. So May looks like it could be a little tumultuous, but they're also wanting me to remind you, even though it's tumultuous, these are things that you've been wanting and asking for. So it may feel chaotic in the moment, but it's going to settle in a way that's more beneficial for you. So just pay attention to what's going on and don't over stress it, but just be aware that there could be some chaos in May. So taking a peek into June, we have the Hierophant. If you finished a school, this could be a new job, like schooling for teaching. This could be that you are taking on an apprentice, you're mentoring someone. The Hierophant is a person of wisdom. It's seen as someone who is here to lead and someone who is here to teach. And as this dragon is standing, and this is major arcana, so these are big life things that are happening. The dragon is sitting on top of a Mayan pyramid, meaning we're working with solar energy big time here, and you're being seen from the top of a pinnacle, so you have reached an apex, so to speak. And from that point, other people, the animals down here, are looking up to you. So it's that leadership quality. So June, whatever it was that kind of stirred up some chaos in May, in June is going to reveal the fact that you have come to a very powerful point where you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of wisdom, because knowledge is book learning, wisdom is knowledge plus experience. So you've got both coming forward is what they're showing me, and people are going to start looking to you for answers, for leadership, and they're also saying it could be a teaching position that you are now offered, standard school or like in a trade environment. But there's something coming in forward in June that is definitely going to show your leadership qualities and abilities. And if you're not really a leader, it could be the person behind the scenes that helps support and boost. But the wisdom and the knowledge that you have gained in your lifetime, they're showing me 4 years for some reason, so the last 4 years maybe, is what is coming forward in the month of June for you. So I have a little itch here, sorry. Jumping into our third quarter with July, we have another major arcana card. This is Justice with Archangel Ragael. Fair and just decision, do what you know is right, standing up for your beliefs. This is leading from the Hierophant of wisdom, knowledge, and leadership, because justice is knowing when to fight, when to step back. Justice wields the balance. It also talks about doing the right thing. And there's times, especially when you walk into a position like you did in June, where you are a leader, people are looking up to you, where you want to people please. You want to tell them, this is what we're going to do. Doesn't this sound fun? Even though it's not what you know is right, because justice is calling you out a little bit. Don't be a people pleaser. Do what is right. Do what's in the policy, the rules. Even if you have to kind of figure out a way around some of that, because that does happen, the justice aspect of it is doing the right thing for the right reason. It's tapping into your intuition, into your morals and ethics. In July, that will be tested, is what they're saying. So just be aware that there could be a little bit of a trial that comes in July. They're not saying it's going to be disastrous. It's just something that's going to test your mettle, so to speak. So pay attention in July, because justice is calling you to stand up, because you're going to be tested. Let's look at August. And did I do that again? Our August is the Temperance card. Again, with that balance focus. Temperance is number 14. And these are major arcana. So you have some pretty big life lessons ending the second quarter and so far in the third quarter. These are things to pay attention to. With Temperance, you're taking what justice was testing your mettle. Are you going to stand up for what is right, or are you going to be a people pleaser? Are you going to stand for what is ethical and moral, or are you going to take another path? And this month, in August, they're calling for temperance. Don't let your passions overwhelm you, because July can be a little bit hostile, is what they're showing me. Your temper could get a little fired up. That's fine. But in August, it's know when to fight. Again, they're really emphasizing know when to fight and know when to walk away. You know, the old gambler song that Kenny Rogers used to sing. But that's where, like, know when you need to step up and say, no, we're done here. We're not doing this. Kind of, bow up if you have to. And know when to be like, you know what, this isn't worth the fight. You want to have your belief, fine, and walk away from the situation. And that's really what's going on so far. July and August look like you're going to be tested, and then it's a reminder to don't let your temper get the better of you. So use the wisdom that you have gained in the last 4 years again to help you move forward without too much conflict. But July, August looks like it could be a little bit hectic, a little bit rough. Doesn't mean it's a bad outcome. It's more of seeing where you're at, and if you're really going to stand in that divine will that was really being worked on in February. So let's look at September. Sorry. The Six of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off a debt. So what was building in July and August is coming to fruition in September, because you were being tested. You had to learn when to walk away from a situation, when not to continue a fight, because the Six of Earth is coming forward in September. September is really showing, because the Temperance card is about balance, and then in September you have the Scales for balance. You also have Justice with balance. So what is happening is this third quarter, balance. Finding the balance, knowing when to fight, when to walk away, when to step up, when to not worry about what other people think, but you're doing the right thing for the right reason. And in September, that is going to be rewarded. So even though it might have been a little bit rough in July and August, is what they're showing me, is in September, things are going to show you why you had to deal with that. You may not understand it during that time when you're in the middle of it, but in September, you're going to be like, oh, well, now I have this new job, this new career, this new position, this new fill in the blank. So I've got a better paycheck than I had before. Things are definitely looking up in September for our air friends. So it might be a little bit rough through July, August. Just know that there's something better coming in September. Again, we're talking general readings here, so take what works and leave the rest, but just a little heads up on things to look at there. So let's look at October, my favorite month. We've got Samhain, when the Sun Lord goes into the underworld to fight back the darkness. And we have... I don't read reverse, and so I'm not really sure why this deck has thrown some of my cards upside down. I'm not really sure what's going on. The card that was reversed is, again, the Justice card, except for this is the Dragon Justice. But we also have the Two of Swords. There's some hidden agendas going on, so I'll show you the cards as they came out, but again, I don't usually read reversals. But this is what we've got going on. So even though things look really good in September, everything's going good for you, they're showing me that there is somebody working behind the scenes who is working against you. There's a secret, a hidden, they keep saying the word agenda, so we'll go with that. A hidden agenda that is not in your best interests in October. Slow down. They're giving me this information to pass on to you because this is a heads up. It's not that things are going to go bad, but be careful who you trust in October, because not everyone who's smiling and friendly is actually smiling and friendly. They're saying that you're going to have actually a positive influence coming in during that time, but you're going to have to use the intuition and the divine guidance that you've got by developing your divine will over the course of your last 4 years to discern the person who's actually going to be beneficial. Because when you look, I'll turn back up, you have the scales again, which you have a lot of balance going on. So when this is reversed, it means there's things out of balance, and that's part of where you have your wisdom. The owl's wisdom, and then the rat is prey. And so you've got the wisdom and the victim, and the victim is what's coming forward. So don't play the victim. Pay attention, be aware of what's going on, and use discernment, because what they're showing me is there's someone's not exactly impressed with your September. They're not happy about that because maybe you got the promotion or got the job that someone else wanted, so they're a little ticked off about it. But in October, it's not so much a bad thing. It's more of pay attention to what's going on, trust your gut and trust your instincts, because there's someone, they're being very specific, it's just one person that is not, who's in this, trying to get in your circle, but they're not going to be beneficial to be there. So just a heads up in October, look out a little bit. Wow, they're really wanting air to focus on balance. We have the angel deck has their temperance card is the balance card again. And we have Archangel Zadkiel, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, waiting for perfect timing. November is bringing you back into that balance. So October may have been a little bit rough. Things may have gotten a little bit out of whack. Don't let that affect the fact that you have found equilibrium within. Equilibrium within yourself, with your higher self and your inner child, equilibrium with your relationships, equilibrium in your job. Things are moving the right way as long as you are able to hold your balance. They're also showing with Archangel Zadkiel, this is a time to remember what's important. Bring those who you know you can trust closer. Really focus on developing and deepening your relationships with your spouse, with your children, and with your inner circle of friends in November. And they're saying not just for like in United States, they have Thanksgiving that week or that month. They're saying not just because of that, but just in general, really focus on the family unit, bringing those people, like I said, that you want and you can trust closer. They're also showing me that this is a time of deepening a connection with your spouse. So spending some quiet time, maybe just you and your partner going out to dinner, really just enjoying that regrounding, because October is work. This is a work situation. It's not something from home. It's just going to be causing a little bit of stress for you. But in November, focus on the home, the family, and really reconnecting, because you don't want work, which is how it's paying for you to live, but it's not living. Your living is what's going on at home, and that's what this card is wanting to remind you of, is even though that could have been a little bit chaotic in October, get back to the core of things in November. So let's wrap up this year with December and see where we're at there. December for our air friends in 2024. December, air. And we have the Eight of Swords. The end of conflict is the first thought that came to mind there. This is the reward. Even though you've had a little bit, it's not been the smoothest sailing year. I won't say bad, it's just not been smooth sailing. The end of this year in December, it's really going to be looking up for you. This is that time where all of that stuff, that person who is not the greatest, that person who had an agenda, is going to be removed from the situation. December is the time where things are going to level out for you. It's really showing me that the reward has been knowing when to fight, stepping back when it's unnecessary, because you will eventually be able to lay down your sword. They're saying that this is not a time for fighting, this is a time for celebration. And for you guys, your representative, air, is by the swords. So this is calling you to use the other aspect of yourself. The intellectual sharp wit, which is the sword, can be a little bit more playful in December. And there's that reward coming in for refining the balance. It reconnects you to joy and passion. So there's a little bit of ups and downs going on this coming year, it's looking like, but the outcome overall for the year is very positive. It's basically reminding you to follow your instincts. Anyone new coming in, just, use your inner guidance, talk to your guides to find out, should I let this person into my inner circle, or should they stay over there? And just be aware that there may be someone not on the up and up coming in July, August, but they'll be easily removed by November. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Have a great 2024. Celebrate the Year of the Dragon in a spectacular way if you can. And with that, I will let you go. Have a great rest of your evening. And again, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, comment away. And if you think someone else might enjoy this, share it out. We're looking to grow a little community here, so of like-minded, forward-thinking people. So have a great rest of your evening.